1 year ago, the Supersize versus Superskinny feeding clinic opened up its doors to 9 Supersizers and 9 Superskinnies, whose dreadful diets were weighing them down. Tonight, we're looking back at 3 of those diet disasters who were desperate to change, not only for themselves, but for the future of their families. First up, serial meal skipper Josh Evans.
If I could get away with not eating, then yeah, I probably would.
Fast food junkie Louise Hayes.
I love food. If I want to cook it and I want to eat it, that's what I do.
And food phobe Vicki Smith.
I'm just generally not happy. I don't have an appetite at all.
The feeding clinic held emotional journeys for each of its residents.
That's your lunch.
I don't think I can go another couple of hours without any food, and especially just that.
And a trip to America gave Louise a terrifying glimpse into her potential future.
You remember me in this bed, and you remember what you could end up like.
1 year on, have they managed to bin the bad eating habits for good?
Before I was eating because I had to, but now I'm eating because I want to and I'm enjoying food.
One year ago, Supersize Louise and Superskinny Josh checked into the feeding clinic to fix their unhealthy relationships with food.
I love food. If I want to cook it and I want to eat it, that's what I do.
In fact, for Louise, food is a family-sized problem.
I love to have my family round once, maybe twice a week, and I like to cook them 5 or 6 courses.
Yes, you heard right, 5 or 6 courses.
Food in our family is a big part, really. A plate of our food sometimes would feed 4 people.
I tend to eat off big meat plates, as big, double the size of your head. I think food is an addiction. I really need help to get away from the craving of the food. I can't stop eating. I just don't want to be fat anymore.
Louise knows she needs help, and she's come to the right place.
So you're 5'6" tall.
At 21 stone 5 pounds, Louise is 10 stone overweight. Just like her portions, she's double the woman she should be.
Right, Louise, your BMI, which I've worked out at 48.5. Healthy BMI for a woman, about 18.5 BMIs to 25. You're morbidly obese. That means significant risk of illness. I'll give you another 5 to 10 years, OK, before you have serious problems because of your weight.
But Louise's weight and lack of confidence is already impacting on many aspects of her life.
Louise's weight does affect our relationship. At the moment, she doesn't get undressed. I can't be in the same room as her and all that.
In the bedroom with the husband, things are not going so well, are they?
No, they're not.
Tell me why.
I just can't undress in front of him. I can't have sex with him at all.
Oh.
No.
And you have a son as well?
Yes.
How old is he?
He's 5. He does like takeaways. Because
Age 5?
At age 5. Do you like burgers?
And double burgers.
And what, sorry?
Double burgers.
Double burgers. I would be devastated if Taylor followed in my footsteps. I don't want him to be overweight.
It's going to be tough, but I think now you're in the position where you've just got to go for it, haven't you?
I have.
To break her overeating habit for good, Louise will be swapping diets with a serial undereater, Josh Evans.
People have called me things like lanky, gangly, stretch. People have compared me to skeletons before now.
Josh doesn't own a motorbike or a horse, but finds clothes that bulk up his frame.
It doesn't show the fact that I am a really skinny guy. It will make me look bigger than I actually am.
Josh rarely eats and uses his 20-a-day habit to fill the gaps left by the lack of food.
If I'm hungry and there's no food in the house, say, I would tend to smoke more.
He doesn't eat breakfast. He very, very rarely eats more than once a day.
If I don't have an appetite, I won't eat. And if I don't, I've been known to not have an appetite for anywhere up to 3 days. If I could get away with not eating, then yeah, I probably would.
6'2" tall. 117 pounds.
6'2" Josh weighs just 8 stone 5, a whole 4 stone underweight.
Why do you think you are so light?
Well,
Shall I give you a clue?
what's that?
You don't eat anything.
There's probably a good reason for it.
How long has that been going on for?
21 years, something like that. If I'm hungry, I'll eat, but it's not often that I am hungry.
What time do you tend to go to bed?
About 3 a.m.
Yeah, and so you don't get up until?
About 3 p.m.
3 p.m. So breakfast, lunch, we've missed those, you know. There's no way we can get you kind of eating regular balanced meals with that sort of routine. You smoke as a substitute for a meal. It suppresses your appetite, and that is how you can get through the day on so little food. If you're serious about putting on weight, then you need to be serious about stopping smoking, OK? You're now dreading this, aren't you?
I am.
Absolutely dreading it.
Louise and Josh are polar opposites. It's time Supersize met Superskinny.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I weigh 8 stone 5.
I'm 21.5 stone. Josh being only 8.5 stone was a bit of a shock.
But before they swap diets, it's time to see what they each consume across a week.
Josh, we're going to start with you, and we're going to start with your breakfast. You are kidding me.
No.
Do you always start the morning with a fag, do you?
It's one of the best ones of the day, yeah.
Let's have a look at your actual breakfast. Let's see what you eat.
I don't eat breakfast.
That's better. So by lunchtime, you're obviously quite peckish.
Or maybe not.
How often do you tend to eat lunch in a week?
Maybe 3 times a week, something like that.
Fast food. Cup of soup. It's all saying to me, I don't really want to cook anything.
And for dinner, there were more cigarettes, followed by tiny portions of fajitas, spaghetti bolognese, pizza, and half a tin of sausage and beans, meaning Josh only ate 4 nights out of 7. A guy of Josh's size and age needs 2,500 calories a day. Skipping breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinner means on average Josh is consuming just 1,200 calories.
Louise, it's your turn. Bacon, egg, cereal. Oh, gosh. So you would have a full fry-up, essentially, every day of the week?
We're only at breakfast, and already Louise's tube is level with Josh's entire week's worth of food.
All right, let's have a look at lunches now. Nice big cheese-filled baguettes. Crisps. Oh, yes. Takeaway fried chicken. Josh, tell me what you think.
Daunting.
Well, let's go on to dinners. That's a roast dinner with some pâté and some cheese.
Just one dinner.
That is one dinner. How often would this happen, actually?
A couple of times a week.
The roast dinner, about 800 calories. Your starter of pâté, same calorie count. And pudding, another 600 calories. Cheese, another 600, 700, 800, depending how much you eat. Chocolates, do you see where you're just adding in?
But dinners don't stop there. A double portion of chili, burgers, chips and takeaways.
How many days a week would you have takeaways?
Probably every day.
On top of mammoth main meals, Louise is a snack machine.
Sandwich, crisps.
Washing all that down with sugary tea, lager and Alka-Pops means Louise is eating 4,000 calories a day, double the recommended 2,000 calorie intake. Her diet has twice the amount of sugar and 4 times the recommended daily amount of saturated fat. Louise is eating for 2, putting her at risk of high cholesterol, diabetes, stroke and heart disease. It's the first meal of the diet swap, dinner. And it's Louise's twice-weekly 5-courser of bread and pâté, roast dinner, cheese, biscuits and grapes, jam roly-poly and custard, coffee and chocolate, versus Josh's half-tin of bangers and beans.
Apologies.
Why?
Because that's not very much and this is. It is quite daunting to look at.
Josh is still eating the starter, but Louise is finished. Her bowl empty. All Louise can do is watch.
I really don't think I'll be able to finish all of this. Very, very full. It's making me sweat.
Josh finishes the main course, but leaves his 4 other courses and instead has his usual meal-replacing cigarette. But as Josh appeases his addiction, going cold turkey is proving tough for foodaholic Louise.
It's a lot to take in, an awful lot. Just not being able to go to the fridge or go to the... Yeah, I'll be all right. I'm doing it for a reason.
Coming up, Dr. Christian gives Louise a terrifying glimpse into her potential future.
I have to wear a diaper all the time.
And we'll catch up with our diet swappers 1 year on.
My relationship to food has changed, my attitude to eating has changed. I actually enjoy it now.
Food addict Louise and meal skipper Josh have checked into the feeding clinic to conquer their battles with food. It's the morning of day 2, and Louise and Josh are facing the day with trepidation.
I don't think Louise will be happy about how much she has to eat today.
My worst nightmare would be no food at all.
She spoke too soon. Poor Louise gets nothing in exchange for her supersize breakfast fry-up, and nothing again for her bumper baguette lunch.
I don't know how you do it. That breakfast properly filled me up.
Josh may be bursting, but after 18 hours without food, Louise is running on empty.
Me not very happy, but hey-ho.
To take their minds off food, Dr. Christian wants Louise and Josh to look through photographs of their past to see if they